Hello, and welcome to the Scott Mize Show, a podcast focused on health, diet, bodybuilding, and philosophy. I interview experts, doctors, coaches, and N=1 case studies to answer your questions about improving health, achieving your best physique, and making sustainable progress. We'll cover topics from carnivore and ketogenic diets to bodybuilding to life philosophy and everything in between. Enjoy the show. This episode is brought to you by LMNT Electrolytes. This month, we're switching it up with an exclusive offer that's only for VIP LMNT partners, including Carnivore Cast listeners. You can now receive this free sample pack along with any regular purchase when you use my custom link, which is provided in the show notes or my Instagram link in bio. That's drinklmnt.com/carnivorecast, all one word. And as I said, I'll include the link in the show notes. LMNT Electrolytes are convenient, evidence-based, and delicious, and get yours today to help support the show. Thank you. This is a quick disclaimer before we start the show. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing said here should be taken as medical advice, and please consult with your physician before making any changes to your diet, exercise regime, or medications. Thank you, and on to the show. Gabriel Gariepy is an IFBB Open Men's Pro Bodybuilder, overall Toronto Pro Show winner in 2022, and successful high-level coach from Canada with some incredibly impressive pro and amateur clients and several pro cards. Gabriel recently competed in the Detroit Pro and came fifth despite a severe stomach virus leading up to the show, and he's now preparing for his next pro show. Welcome to the podcast, Gabriel.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm a huge fan of you and your physique, and Kurt Havens is a close friend, so really excited to get into it with you today. Would love to just start with your background and how you started in bodybuilding. What got you into the sport in the first place?
Yeah, at the beginning, I started to train. I just started to go at the gym at my school. Because sometimes we had a musculation session in my school in sport, because I was in the multi-sport when I was 16 years old. I was in multi-sport. We play several sports like soccer, everything, and I go at the musculation room. And I have a psychoeducator who was there is a guy who watch some kid who have a deficit, severe intimidation, everything. He was there with the kid in school, and the guy was very, very, very jacked. And he saw me lift, and at 16 I benched two plate, and he told me, "Shit, you are strong, man." Yeah. He said, "Did you ever train?" I'm like, "No, I just do that for fun." He said, "Okay." And he showed me a bit how to train, just like that. And I like that a lot. I started to just training for fun, like 2-3 times a week. And that was because I had some issue in my family at home, and that was a way to forget everything. I have for sure. I never was a small guy too. I don't remember the time I weighed beside 160 pound man. I always was very wide on the clavicle, and I started just like that to live. I didn't eat that much. I have a eating disorder a bit too at high school. I eat like 1 meal a day, man, not a lot.
Wow.
And after that, I start to get a bit serious just in pre-contest. I did a pre-contest. I finished at 18 years old. I finished second, but I didn't do a real off season because I just like to be in spread. Okay. Yeah. And I didn't do up season 2 because I had severe sleep apnea since I was young, and I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Yes, same. My mother can hear me. How we say that? Hear me to
Snoring.
the second floor, and I was at the basement. Okay, because it's terrible, man.
Wow.
Okay, and it's why I didn't do off season, because every time I go off season, uh, I feel terrible. I slept everywhere. Man, sometimes I text, and my phone drop in my face, and I'm because I fell asleep, and I'm like, I
Wow.
fall asleep same at the when I drive, and that was dangerous. I did a test at I did my sleep apnea test at 20 years old in 2020.
Okay.
I had the result, and I stopped breathing at 200 pounds, 133 times by hour. Uh, and after that, the doctor prescribed me my CPAP. And after when I had my CPAP, I started a real off season. In 1 year, I gained 50 pounds of stage weight.
Wow.
Yes, with a small cycle, just eating, because it's the first time I eat really, really high food in my life. I go to 7,300 calories a day. And because I'm not a big eater, I put real barbecue sauce on every meal. Real barbecue sauce. I finish 2 bottles a day. That put me maybe at 9,000 calories a day. I was at 265 to 70 of season in 2021. I dropped to 220, and I did my first national. And after I did the pro qualifier, my first national, I placed top first call out. After 3 months later, I do a pro qualifier Toronto, because due to the COVID, the Toronto was not in June. They replaced it in December.
Okay.
I placed second, and
Wow.
6 months later, I did 2 months of season. I gained 10 pounds of muscle, and I go into the prep, and I place first in super heavyweight, and I won the overall in Toronto, and I won my pro card in 1 year.
Wow. That's insane. That's insane. And you then did you do all of this with a coach, or were you
Uh,
self-guided for some of it?
for the first national, I did with a coach. Uh, and the when I won my pro card, I did by myself.
Wow. That's really impressive. Did you realize like how gifted you were? Like were people telling you how crazy your progress was?
Yes, at the beginning, I didn't believe it, because, like I said, I never pushed the food before, and it's why I'm very with my athlete. I like to push the food, because I know that make you grow. Everything is about the training. If you train hard, okay, the food is what we make you push at the gym, recovery. But if you don't train hard, the food is not essential, and
Yeah.
the anabolic just enhance everything. If you don't push hard, the anabolic is not essential. You need the three
Yeah.
aspect, okay? And the sleep is freaking important. With my
Yeah.
CPAP, I can recovery, and you need all the aspect to be done to have the most progress. And I always had a big back and big legs. Like everybody told me in bodybuilding, you just need big back and big legs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's insane. Yeah, I totally agree. It's crazy how much just being a little bit deficient in one of those four things can really hold you back. Um, and then talk about competing as a pro. Um, was Detroit your first show as a pro?
Yes, yes, that was my pro debut. They try. I look at good leading to the show. I ate like 1,000 grams of carb a day the week leading to the show,
Wow.
and I didn't know what happened. I think because I had the clients saw me. I evaluate the client 2 days before Detroit, and the client after Detroit saw me, message me, "Hey, how you place?" I tell him my placing. I said, I don't know. I was flat, and I just I had I just poop water like 10 to 12 times a day. He told
Wow.
me, "Oh man, fuck! I had I have a digestive issue since last week." I'm like, "Oh shit, maybe it's why." And he gave me a virus, and maybe that's why I flat out. The problem with me is because I'm very wide on clavicle. If when I'm flat, I look like crap because the people with small clavicle are always round, but when a small clavicle is freaking full, like Jay Cutler, okay,
Yeah.
this guy look crazy, but this type of guy need to be full to look good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. And I think you still looked phenomenal despite having pretty severe stomach virus.
What I did, okay, at the beginning, because I had two friends who was there with my wife, at the beginning, when I'm flat, I look soft. I don't look shred because my muscles are big and don't push to the skin. And at the beginning, more the day advance on the Saturday, and I eat clean, more I look soft and soft and soft and 2D. And one of my friends told me, "Hey man, we will shit load because you just can't fill out." And he gave me like a Subway fry, real Coke. I drink 4 liters of real Coke.
Wow.
Normally, when I eat salty food and I drink instantly my face get puffy. And this time, no, I'm like, fuck, something is wrong here. And I eat ton of food, man. I eat maybe 20,000 calories with the Coke, and I drink real Mountain Dew, everything. And I continue to eat till the prejudging and to drink.
Yeah. Crazy. And what was your diet like leading up to the loading period? Like how much did you eat in the off season versus prep? And how low did your food get, and how high did your food get in the off season before?
Okay. Normally, what happened is I did a mini cut for my wedding in December. I was at the lowest, I was at 4,000 calories. After I upped that at 5,000, and after I decided to do Dietary and 9 week out. Okay, and at the beginning I was at my low day was around 4,000 calories. My normal day at the end, because what I like to do is I like to cycle day by day, okay, with my weight, my look, everything. It's what I do to my client. Send me your morning picture, your weight, and how you feel, because I like to manage all the aspect. But for me, I don't manage my overtraining, my stress level, but it's because you are not objective sometimes with yourself, okay?
Yeah.
And what I did is I like to do more you are lean, more you will eat frequently, more you will have some high day, less you. I like to do that. Okay, what at the beginning I was on a normal diet. More I get leaner, more I ate. Like sometimes I had 2 days in a row at 8,000 calories plus my normal day. At the end, I had one normal day on the is 4,000 calories, and my one low day, sorry, on the 4,000 calorie. My normal day was 5,500, and my high day was 8,000.
Wow. And how much did you weigh?
Uh, Flat on an empty stomach, 232, and
Okay.
at my best look was post workout after 2.5 liters of water with 300 grams of carbs at 236 point something.
Wow. And you're not very tall, right? You're very
For
stout.
I'm 163 centimeter.
Okay. Yeah. That's yeah, that's like 5'4", I think. Five
Five
foot
foot
five.
four and half,
Yeah.
around 5'5".
Yeah, yeah. And how do you like to manage carbs versus protein versus added fats? Like obviously you're really cranking up your carbs. But do you do a lot of added fats in your diet, or do you try to keep those very minimal?
Zero added fat.
Yeah.
But I keep eggs, and if my good cholesterol is low, I will add. But in end of the prep, I cut all the added fat. I just keep the eggs because I love eggs. Eggs for the cholesterol and the omega-3 is good. But
Yeah.
I don't like to play with fat. That don't help me with the digestion. I don't like that. I prefer play with high carbs. I perform better. I feel better. And but when I refeed, I put junk food like but clean junk food like sushi or Subway. And
Yeah.
sometimes I go dirter like burger fry. But not this time. Every time I try because I removed the burger fry since too long on my diet and I didn't digest well the burger. Now I can digest the burger because I didn't eat a burger in 3 months. It's why I think I didn't digest well the burger and fry.
Yeah.
And now, but I go with more fat in my ID just because I find I don't look better when it's just carbs. I need
Okay.
something. I need something to keep me full.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like you're just burning through food. So maybe that fats help slow it down a little bit.
Yes, like sushi, I eat with spicy mayo. I didn't care. My Subway, I put guacamole in
Yeah.
my Subway. Like my idea, if I remember correctly, was my normal diet plus my normal diet was around 550 grams of carb plus but I was crazy high protein, like 500 grams of protein. Okay.
Okay.
Plus
Wow.
450 grams of carbs in the day, plus replace the last meal with a 12-inch Subway chicken with guacamole, with baked potato chips because it's low fat, and I I I had 30 sushi with spicy mayo.
With regards to protein, you mentioned you were going pretty high, like 500 grams. Do you still do that or have you lowered it? And what sources do you like to use mostly throughout the day?
I lower it at 350. Like that, I eat higher carb, and
Okay.
that digests better.
Yeah.
And I think you need a high protein to grow,
Mm.
but at a certain point in your career, you can just decrease your protein amount and just go higher carb because you just need to refine your physique.
Yeah. You've got the size now. You're
Yeah.
massive. Um, and what sources do you like to use mostly for protein?
Egg white, some eggs, but not more than two or three. Uh, I like to use chicken, uh, extra lean beef, but not too much. Protein isolate, but just real, just high quality protein isolate because a lot of protein is counterfeit, is underdose.
Mm.
I like to use sometimes Greek yogurt, and that's it, man. I like to eat, and I like to eat the same thing every day.
Yeah.
That's less complicated, and I work like 12 to 14 hours a day. I need
Yeah.
to to very, very, very have a plan, the same thing every day. That's less complicated for me.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I know you recently now you're working with Kurt Havens. How did you meet Kurt?
I meet Kurt in a podcast, and but
Yeah.
yes, I saw him. I bought his book on HGH in the past. I watched some of his podcasts, and he is very, very brilliant about a lot of things.
Yeah. And I understand he helped you tweak your diet a little bit
Yes.
to get more food down. Uh Previously, were you just eating like all your carbs straight from rice? And like what changes did he make?
Just add the bone broth and change my protein source, decrease my protein, and sauerkraut. He put sauerkraut in my meal, but I always put that or kimchi for the digestion
Yeah,
because
same.
I have a good base in digestive issue. Uh, and because I took a lot of supplement for digestion, it's just I had the virus at the show, and after post show because I felt like shit because honestly a placing at a show for me didn't affect me at all. I prefer finish dead last with my best package ever than finish first with a package I didn't like. And and after I just binge here and there after the show, and that screw up my digestion very much because I start holding a lot of water pursuing the abdomen, and after that I just need to be on a diet and to flush the water, and that helped me a lot. I took two by myself, zinc carnosine for the digestion, prebiotic. I took two for the digestion, aloe vera, probiotic. I'm a big believer because the digestive system is one of the cause of all the disease in the world. You need to have a good digestion in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk a little bit more about you mentioned at the start that like training is so important and training hard to elicit growth. Can you talk about your training style, how you like to train?
No, because I'm busy. I train just 5 times a week.
Okay.
I try a new method. I do the RP app. For me, it's very difficult because I always in prep train twice a day,
Yeah.
6 times, 3 day on, 1 day off, 3 day on, 1 day off. 6 times is around 6 times a week, 2 times a day. I always love that. I did crazy high volume, but I'm very reactive to that. When I did that between 2021, the 6 months between 2021 and 22, I gained 10 pounds of muscle and I won my pro card. That's the volume, very, very work on me, high volume training.
Yeah.
And you have less risk of injury. You have more insulin sensitivity. You can digest better because you have high insulin sensitivity. You have high volume. You are more hungry. For me, that's a way that always worked. But now I work a lot, very, very, very much, because I open a gym. I have some athletes competing. I was last week at Vancouver, all the week for my athlete, and that's more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is your workout split now? You're 5 days a week.
I do Monday legs, Tuesday upper body, Wednesday legs, off, Friday upper body, Saturday legs, off.
Okay. So upper lower. And how high was your volume in the past when you were training twice a day, 3 on, 1 off, versus now? What does it look like?
20 to 25 sets in the AM, 20 to 25 sets in the PM,
Wow.
one muscle at each time. But I try different way. I try to do like chest tricep in the morning, chest tricep at night. I try to do one muscle at time. I prefer one muscle each time because I was so overburned when I do the same muscle at night. But I really love the twice a day training in Kuwait. They did that in the past. Like all the pro did that. I think it's
Yeah.
a good and like now if I went because I can do that because I'm at my own gym. I pass the day at my gym. I can do that if I want. But like I said, I'm so busy. I have like 4 other shows for my athlete to go, and that is a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely. And now what how much volume are you doing in your workouts now?
It's like 2 warm-up set to the application adjust your volume on your demand and on what you select. Yeah, like sometimes they put me 4 sets on an exercise, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, to depend on. But I love that. I stay fuller, but I prefer to. It's crazy my mentality because if I don't feel crazy tired, I don't feel I give enough. It's why I prefer to the twice a day training.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to do pretty high volume myself too. I'm only training 5 times a week now, but I usually train 6 times a week. And
I
I
did
like,
6 times in a
yeah,
row, twice a day for my pro card.
wow. Yeah, that's a lot. That's Roman Fritz style.
Yes, but if that works, like all the study on the bodybuild on the athlete are made on non-natural athlete, and we do some gear, man. That GH insulin test, we can recover a lot,
Yeah.
and like Dorian Yates can reach the total failure. It's hard a guy to see to reach like everybody. I think uh, have two rep in reserve with that. Like if you attack each muscle because it's proved that the 5 last rep in reserve is the rep will come the most. If you just attack every set one rep, like just one rep and you still have 4 rep in reserve, you will do like 20 to 25 set a workout like that. You have 20 to 25 more opportunity to grow than do a lower volume than just like 1 or 2 set all out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Totally agree. Yeah. I think also people are very fragile about both volume and training to failure, saying like, oh, it'll fatigue you too much, you can't recover. But in my experience, if you just do it a few times, do it for a few weeks, you get used to it very quickly.
Exactly. And like Ronnie Coleman said, he didn't get sore in the last couple years in his career, and you are not obligated to be sore to feel like yes, I don't recover. I don't recover enough. Yeah, yes. At the beginning, when you train twice a day, you feel tired. But for real, the GH was a must because on GH you can recover a lot, man, a lot.
Yeah.
Is I think is overrated the GH, but for the recovery enhancement, the twice a day training is a must.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and what does your current drug stack look like right now, and maybe compare it to what you're using going into Detroit?
It's the same thing, and like test, trend, mass, primo, GH, insulin.
Yeah. You find over time that those are the things that work best for you.
Yes, because I have anxiety of NPP, not on trend. I have anxiety of EQ, not on trend. I don't use normally trend of season. Normally of season, my season stack is very basic. It's test primo, GH insulin, or test mass GH insulin. But yes, it's the drug work the most with me. I like to use T4 too of season and in prep. T3 on the in prep, clan on the in prep.
Yeah. Yeah. Very similar. And what you mentioned growth hormone being a game changer for you. What where did you find that to really start to see the benefits? Like
I found that I find more I get big, more I need for my recovery, for
sure.
real, and my fullness. But I, we start to see the change at 6 IU.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because
Yeah.
at 4 IU, like people who do a 3 IU or 2 IU is just for longevity purpose and skin purpose. The fat loss enhancement is not that much, and then on paper is more you do, more you burn fat, more you do, more you have hyperplasia. But I think that have upper limit. I don't believe more you do GH, more you will be a freak. More, I think you have the upper limit too. I just think 6 IU, you have crazy fullness, you burn more fat, and more you go high, more you burn fat, more you have fullness.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. And Talk about coaching. How did you get into coaching, and what do you enjoy about it?
Okay, I get into the coaching because every time I hire a coach, they miss me because they play with diuretic, with water cut, water load, and I flat out so much, and I didn't knew why. I'm like, fuck, because me, when I diet, I can use IGH, I test, and I didn't hold an ounce of water. And because I'm always in shape when I like at 4 week out, I was ready for Detroit, okay?
Wow.
Always in shape, okay? And if you see my picture on my profile, you will sell the picture. At 4 week out, I did a peak week test. At 3 weeks out, I look like the same for so much week, okay, because I was ready in advance. Because I did a mini course, like I told you, for my wedding. After at 9 week out, I started the prep, and I was very ripped. And after 3 weeks of on prep, I was almost ready. At 4 week out, I was ready. Okay, and and for real, I think the all the coach don't know what they do really. Because if you are in shape, you don't need to play with diuretic, you don't need to play with water, you don't
Yeah.
need to play with nothing. And if you use a diuretic, don't cut the water. That will be your worst mistake to be in shape. Okay.
Mm.
If I use a diazide, no, I never use one diazide. I use like quarter in times. When I don't use diazide since last year, but I use recently just for my athlete at Vancouver because we have some problem. Okay, but you never cut water because diazide flush the water, just excess of sodium. And after that, if you cut the water, the muscle is made of water. You will not fill up, man. People eat 3, 4, 5,000 grams of carb, and they are not full because they don't drink, man. That's a problem. And I just at the beginning, I just test some. I just start to learn and test on myself to make me better and turn pro.
Yeah.
And when I turned pro and I turned an athlete pro the same day I turned pro, and after I turned another athlete pro in August, and I love that, man. And I turned my wife pro the same year, and another classic pro the same year. And I'm like, fuck, I have some knowledge. I'm good at this. I will
Yeah.
just keep keep getting better and learn more to not make me because sometimes I prefer coaching and bring somebody to the point A to B than do a bodybuilding show because you have because I know I can change somebody and I visualize the physique, okay, with everyone. I like to visualize, okay, how I can bring him better and bring him at his best. And it's what I do and it's what I love. And I love the feeling when the athlete is freaking happy about his shape on stage.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've certainly shown your ability to do that. You have some really talented athletes. It's really cool.
Yes, like my guy Sam Parkin, he started to work with me in January. He was on stage 10 pounds heavier and leaner than his last stage. And
Wow.
we had crazy story in Vancouver, just freaking stress, man. At the first day we arrived at the Airbnb, me and my wife, no air conditioning, no everything don't work,
Wow.
and that it was freaking hot. I changed for an hotel. After he come is a 6 hour flight, Montreal to Vancouver. He hold 8 pounds of water with 1 million. I'm
Wow.
like shit, and this guy was one of my most difficult guy to pick because he flat very, very, very rapidly, and he get watery very rapidly too.
Yeah. That's
he,
tough.
if he arrived and we was at Walmart, I was like, oh fuck, oh shit, man, this guy. I hope he will not see his shape in the mirror because he looked like 12 week out. He held 8 pounds of fluid and he was flat. Okay,
Wow.
and my plan, like my peak week, I don't have a peak week fix. I just go meal by meal, hour by hour, weight, pose, okay, I will tell you what to eat, what to do. I still his water consistent. I told him, go do cardio, man. He do cardio. The Thursday increases potassium. The Friday, I start carbing in, but he's the only guy I use 1/4 diazide the morning, in PM, in after, and before bed. And I start carbing up gradually to depend the look and the weight. And we go at the weight in. At the weight in, he weighed 5'8" and 3/4. At his 3 last pro show, he ate 4'9". He had 8 pounds less than his last 3 show, and he was over his weight cap. I'm like, shit, man, that was a stress. My wife is a she worked in masso therapeutic for sport and everything. She stretched him. He redo the 8 measurement. He measured the correct 8, and after that, I continued to carb him. That was crazy. Oh, yes, that was a crazy story, because this guy, when he's flat, he's 2D, but when I saw him full, he looked like very round, like a mini Philly, like a crazy roundness, small waist. I never saw that in my life. I was, shit, man, this guy is crazy good.
Yeah, you're gonna need to bring your wife to every show he does now to stretch him.
Yes.
Make him
we had 15 minutes to lose 2 pounds, and or to just and my wife said, why we don't stretch him? I'm like, okay, yes, we can do that.
Yeah. And I'm amazed by some of the transformations you have with your clients, like crazy before and afters. Especially like a lot of guys on your page look like they've never lifted a weight before, and then a year later they look crazy. How do you get such good results with your clients?
Attention to detail. I'm very OCD about everything. Because I always try to make my athlete better, and I pay very, very, very little attention to detail. Like, I know who is flat, where he is flat. I know when you need to carb. Like my wife, this prep, she went to do a prep, but she canceled that because we were so busy. But my wife this time was not like the other prep. Her body didn't respond because she had too much stress and just managed stress, and she started to losing weight again. It's just an attention to detail. Like, sometimes bodybuilding don't make sense, on paper. Yeah. It's calorie in, calorie out, but in reality is that you give T3 to anybody, you put him in the calorie deficit, and anybody will get shred. But yeah, it's just on a enhanced athlete that don't work just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned like how much food you have to eat. When you have guys who are like peak off season and they're hitting a wall with food, what advice do you have for them to be able to get more carbs down and more food in?
I give muffin, candies, I give easy food to eat, just easy food to digest, to eat crazy dense food, reason that help too. For real, to depend your body fat. If you are fat, I will say, okay, we will push back the food.
Yeah.
And do a mini cut if you are not fat. Like, I have a guy, I don't know if you saw him, Christopher Miller is a guy I turned him pro last year in the classic. When he come at me, he told me when to do the pro qualifier. I was like, he was very skinny. I'm like, shit, man. He gained like 30 pounds of muscle in 6 months, and he won his pro card. And wow. And I paused all his cycle because people didn't believe his cycle. His cycle at the beginning was like 500 of test, 300 of NPP.
Wow.
And 4 UFG. And at the end was like in prep was 7 tests, 300 trend, 300 mass, 50 win for a UFGH, and he won his pro card. He's just a overall, because he trained hard, he sleep. I pay attention to the type, the diet, the manipulation. I give refeed when your body needs, because in prep, I think you do more drug, you're supposed to gain muscle if you have alimentation on good moment. Like if you are too flat, don't continue to flat out. I like to deplete somebody, refeed it. Deplete. If you over deplete, you will see some guy over deplete all the prep, and you try to carb him, and they don't respond, and they are just flat on stage. I like to do deplete, okay, refeed, deplete, refeed, deplete, refeed. And it's just an attention to detail because you need to enhance the performance of the guy, same in prep.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes total sense. And how do you typically prescribe training for your clients? Is it similar to you? Do you like to do really high volume? Like how obviously everyone has individual needs, but like assuming a guy needs to bring everything up and they train once a day, like what would their training look like on
Push pull
average?
is a beginner is a push pull leg or upper lower. If he's more advanced, is a two body part in two body part in a time, like chest tricep, the back bicep. I just give some advice. Like if I give you a training program, I told to everybody, if you want to do a drop set, that's just a base. If you feel you can push more, do a drop set. If you feel you can push more, do a rest pose. Okay, do a myo rep, do a cluster set. You just need to push because the real secret in the gym is just train harder than last time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that you just have to train hard, really hard, and recover and do all the other things right, and
And
you'll
in
crush.
prep, I manage to the fatigue because I say like somebody didn't respond. I'm like, okay, take 2 days of cardio, 2 days of gym, okay, and during these 2 days, I will increase the food just to surcompensate and to because the food, the carbs will enhance your recovery to be better after. And I told to everybody, don't worry, you will be better in 3 to 4 days. Their weight sometimes go up and they are like, oh fuck, my weight go up. And 3 or 4 days after, their weight go lower than before.
Wow. Yeah, it's hard to manage. Sometimes the body can just run away from you and the metabolism.
Yes, some like I had a guy, man. He trained like me because he's one of my best friend, twice a day, and I saw his body. His body like was flat and like have a small fine of water, and normally never return water. I'm like, okay, man, today go eat whatever you want, just take off. Tomorrow, stick on diet. Don't do cardio, don't do step, and I guarantee you in 3 to 4 days you will be better. He was freaking stressed, okay? And 4 to 5 days better, 4 to 5 days later, he was more leaner, more tighter, don't retain fluid, and lighter.
Wow, it's crazy. And when is your next show, Gabriel? What are you preparing for, and what's your goal there?
I need to discuss with Card, but yes, for real, because the problem with me is now I have a crazy schedule, okay, and if
Yeah,
the problem is I was like on enough for a show. The only problem with me is I have 4 shows with athlete coming. Like I was in Vancouver like last week. After I slept 7 hours Saturday, between Friday to Sunday. Sorry, 7 hours. I fall asleep I fall sick before because of that. So like when I bring athlete at Toronto Pro Qualifier in June, I was just fall asleep during 4 days after the show. That because that take me so much mental energy because I need to anticipate it because when I don't have a fixed plan like some other coach will give you a peak week, meal by meal, hour by hour, day by day, and backstage I'm very present. Okay, take salt, take salt. Okay, take that. Okay, you flat out, and that drained me so much. I'm very on adrenaline on the show day, but after that I just crash and that takes me so much to recovery on that. Like just like it's why I don't answer to you. I answer to you when I wake up and after I go asleep again for the podcast. I like today I felt better since the Vancouver Pro, and we are Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. I can't imagine how you manage all of it. It's crazy. But I'm really excited to follow you and see how you do at your next show. I'm sure you have something really special ahead of you.
Yes, and it's why I will not take any client around one of my show, because yes, I want to go to Olympia one day, and I'm young, and I know I can do it, but I can't do it and have some stress, because I know what stress goes to my athlete, and I know that can. I don't want to have a 60% package like at Detroit. Like I can bring a much better package.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you can. Well, Gabriel, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you're very busy. Where can people find you and follow you? And I'll have links to everything in the show notes as well.
Okay, perfect. On Instagram is Gabriel Gariepy coaching. And on YouTube is Gabriel Gariepy IFBB Pro. You just can follow me on that. And if you have any question, you can ask me on Instagram. I'm very responsive.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks.